Burnett and chair of the meeting as the leader of the Vale of Glamorgan Council. And usual type of housekeeping is the minutes being held in person and is being live streamed and recorded and will be uploaded to the Vale of Glamorgan Council's website as soon as practicable after the meeting. At one point we will move into part 2, and at that time we will go into private session. Participants should ensure their microphones are not activated when not speaking, and that anyone wishing to speak should, as we're all in the same room, just simply raise their hand. So moving on to the agenda proper. First things is any apologies for absence. I think I can see everybody here, so we don't have any. Nope. Agenda item 2, minutes of the meeting held on the 4th of June. Can I take those as a true record?
And I'll second those.
Thank you. Agenda item 3 is any declarations of interest today. We don't have any advised either.
Nope, I've been advised of any. Sure.
Super. And then moving on to agenda item 4, and that is the recruitment and selection arrangements for the operational manager of Democratic Services, who's also the statutory head. And I'm assuming that the director will be taking us through this. So over to you, Tom.
Thank you very much indeed, Leader. So this is the Part 1 report, members, to support the recruitment and selection for the head of Democratic Services, the operational manager. The report makes reference back to the meeting of the 4th of June, where as a committee you approved the recruitment arrangements for stage 1, and provides you with an update then on the process so far. So following your approval committee, we advertised the position during June, and we then undertook an initial assessment process at technical level with officers. That included psychometric testing before the interview, then a technical interview with myself and the head of Legal and Democratic Services, a presentation then to a panel of staff drawn from across the organisation. And following that, we were able to put together a shortlist which we'll present to you under part 2 of the agenda this afternoon, Chair. So this report sets out that at this final stage, it suggested that as a committee, you interview the shortlisted candidates to determine if a suitable applicant is available for the post. We've prepared a selection of draft questions for members to consider under part 2, Leader, and we've also provided a presentation topic to candidates to prepare ahead of the interviews this afternoon. And then just to confirm that those interviews will be conducted under part 2 provisions of the access to information legislation. And then following that, this report seeks to delegate the residual appointment details to the Chief Executive in consultation with myself if a suitable applicant is confirmed by yourselves as committee.
Yes, back on. Thanks, Tom. So on therefore, on this report, we've got 2 recommendations, as you said, to conduct interviews in relation to the post of operational manager, Democratic Services, and to make a final determination to appoint a suitable candidate, as you said, as if there is. And secondly, to delegate residual appointment details as appropriate to Chief Executive in consultation with the Director of Corporate Resources if suitable applicant is confirmed by elected members of the committee, and I move.
And I'll second those recommendations.
Thank you. No dissent in the room, so that's agreed. So as previously mentioned, we don't, first of all, we don't have any items that are urgent. So in order to go to agenda item 6, we will need to move to part 2. These are matters that are considered to be confidential, and therefore we'll move into private session where such matters can be discussed Therefore, the process is that we'll first need to agree to move to part 2 and ask the Democratic Services Officer to stop the recording of this open session to ensure that no members of the public are present after this point, and to only allow relevant parties to remain to hear the details of the items to be discussed. Following the meeting, the outcome of the part 2 discussions will be formally captured as part of the minutes of the meeting, and will advise all parties of the final decisions of the committee for the relevant items. So can I therefore formally move part 2